Regarding this topic, it is very important because what you do as a researcher appears to other people in the form of your thesis or in the form of a research publication which you publish. So it is very important that how you describe your work and how you arrange all the things you have done. I'll share here a sentence from my supervisor. He used to tell us that write the thesis in such a manner that if an inexperienced person picks it up after 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, and looking into your thesis, he can repeat your experiments. That will be the best thesis. Similarly, if your thesis has been described in such a manner that it attracts people, then obviously your thesis will have many citations, and citation describe the quality of a work that other people are using what you have done. Initially, I mean in Europe and Western countries, as I have experienced there, only research thesis was enough for you to be qualified for the relevant degree. When you wrote research thesis and you defended it, it used to be considered enough for your qualification for the said degree, right? But it should not be considered as if you will certainly get novel results which will be publishable. You and your supervisor must make every effort to find out some results, some novel findings which can be publishable in quality journals, but it is in itself training of research, that how you carry out a research project. It is basically that training, whether it's MPhil, whether it's at BS or MSc level, or if it is at MPhil and PhD level. It is the training which you get. For example, you work a lot day and night on a project, but there is no possibility of any novel results from there. So how will you publish it? In countries like ours, a research publication became must because of our own deficiencies, because of our own insincerity and dishonesty, that we didn't and we were not used to do what was needed, but we wanted to give degrees. And in order to control that, to ensure quality, it was made mandatory that if you are doing, for example, PhD, you must publish an article in an international impact factor journal or HEC recognized journal. So it is not the part of the thesis or what internationally people consider a research work. It is our own invention in order to make sure that some work has been done which is publishable. Secondly, instead of forcing people to compulsorily publish an article, it would have been better that if my dean, my vice chancellor, my advanced study and research board, my graduate study committee, my supervisor have made it, I have ensured it that yes, exactly what is needed for a research project or training, that will be done, and the mandatory research publication condition will not be put. I am telling you the problems in this mandatory research article. A student came to me, he or she spent 3 or 5 years with me, and if now he or she is going away with no publication, then I feel embarrassed for that, the student feel embarrassed for that, and we are from anywhere we want to make his or her publication, which is unethical. Her or my research work is not capable to be published there, but I am using gift authorship. Tell people to write my name in your paper, tell people to write my student name in the paper. So all these negative things come from that condition. If we are sincere and honest, then research is a thorough study of a topic which trains you that how will you handle a research project in future. As yes, I know, in research internationally, when you are starting your research at MPhil or PhD level, commonly at PhD level, in America, they examine you, and that examination is called comprehensive examination. Comprehensive examination means that you have full command of the previous literature and the relevant courses, right? If I exclude the previous literature at the moment, so you have command over the relevant courses. This means that you must know the basics of that field. And when you command that, you will pass the comprehensive examination. In UK and Europe, they, from the very start, they tell you where are your deficiencies. For example, I was doing my PhD in glass or glass ceramics. So I was not well aware of the glass technology. So my supervisor told me to attend some classes of glass technology. Similarly, if you are working in solid state physics and your supervisor tells you that your command is not very good in this field, so attend some classes. So they used to guide people to attend the classes, and after some time they used to ask you your first year progress report, what you have done in this whole year. And that progress report used to be assessed by your supervisor and some assessors from the department that yes, his progress is good, and that used to be used to confirm your admission for that degree. In the second year, you again wrote a report and your progress for the second year was judged. In the third year, you were asked, you used to be asked to present your results, and you used to give a seminar in the department and you used to present your results. People used to look into them. Are they sufficient for the award of that degree, or no, there are some deficiencies there? So if there were deficiencies, then people used to advise you, they do this, or enhance this aspect, and come back for that seminar. Once everyone was agreed, then you used to be told that yes, now you are in a position to write your thesis. And from there, you started your thesis writing. This is the last bit of your research that you analyze and consolidate, combine all the findings in the form of a result, in the form of a thesis. Every country and sometimes every institutions have different regulations. Some say that no, write the thesis in this format. Others say write the thesis in this format. In Japan, in some days, I am not sure now what is happening there, but they used to tell students that combine 4 or 5 research papers together and that is your thesis. But other universities used to say no, this is not the way. You will have to write thesis in the thesis format. So it is up to the universities and rules and regulations of different institutions. Let's Another important thing is consistency of your work with your research title. For example, you selected a research title, but after 3 years of work, you think that your subject, what you have done, is not consistent with that title. For example, I am doing PhD on BATIO3. I am studying the phase microstructure and dielectric properties of BATIO3. But after studying for 3 years, I couldn't find any new thing in BATIO3, and I extended that composition, for example, to BA2, TI2, or something. So it is not BATIO3. Now, if I write a thesis on the other compositions there, and my title is BATIO3, so they are mutually not consistent. It should not be a problem because we are all learning things. In our countries, when you want to change your title, it takes a long time and people try to avoid it. But ethically and realistically, the title change is needed. So in European countries, my experience is that at the end of the study, the supervisor and the student, the scholar, sit together and the supervisor asks him or her that, are you satisfied with this title? If the student say no, the supervisor asks him or her that, what do you think should be a better title? Then the student says that, okay, it's not good to be BATIO3. Why shouldn't we call it barium titanate based ceramics? Barium titanate based ceramics. So you included all the composition there and your title changes to phase microstructural analysis and electrical properties of barium titanate based ceramics. That makes your title consistent with your work, right? So it should not be a problem. And through this lecture, I want to communicate to you that such procedures should be made easier for the teachers and students so that they are not suffered by the irrelevant formalities. Globally, the PhD theses are written in different ways, and I told you that I have the European experience, and here in Pakistan, we are following different methods. The people graduated from US, they are trying to guide their students according to their quality and knowledge. The people graduated from European countries, they try to supervise and guide students according to their program. Now, coming to the abstract. Abstract is basically the cream of your work. Abstract for a research paper is usually a single paragraph. A single paragraph. And there are strict regulations by different journals regarding the abstracts. For example, some journals say that the abstract must not be longer than 200 words. Others say it should not exceed 250 words. Some say it must be less than or equal to 300 words. Some have no regulations. But what is abstract basically? Abstract is the showcase of your whole thesis. If a person reads the abstract in the start of your thesis, he or she must have an idea what has been done throughout this project. In the first sentence, a comprehensive introduction of the research topic, the title of your paper or research thesis, a comprehensive introduction. Please know what is comprehensive. Comprehensive means use such words which are minimum in number but maximum in meaning, so that you describe the whole topic in one sentence. What were you doing? Then in a sentence or two, describe the significance, why you are doing it. What you are doing in first sentence, why you are doing in one or two sentences. In third sentence, say, justify your work with the previous studies. For example, people intensively or extensively studied this topic, but I found this gap, that is why I am doing this. That is enough there. Then in the next sentence are two are your main results. What did you find after carrying out this project? So it should be a sentence or two, not more than that. Then in the last sentence, what is the significance of your results? Economic significance, intellectual significance, technical significance, contribution to the pool of knowledge we already have, because some studies may be academic, others may be of applied nature, right? So whatever nature of application or application potential, because when you are reporting your novel results, you have not tested them or prepared them industrially. So you are saying that this material which I made in this study, and I tested it for these properties, it has the potential for this application. So the whole story was told in 5 or 6 sentences of your abstract in a research journal paper. In the thesis, it is sometimes 1 page and sometimes 2 pages in order to tell more about your thesis. But the best abstract is the one which is a single paragraph and which has the key points, the cream of what you have done, why you have done, and what you have achieved, and what is the significance of your achievement. Right? So this is the abstract. Acknowledgement. In science, there is no, what you can say, extra things must not be there. Acknowledgement, you must acknowledge all those who contributed to your work financially, technically, logistically. A person, you need a material from North Waziristan, and a person went there and he or she brought that sample for you from a mine in North or South Waziristan. This never means that he or she contributed intellectually to your work. This is logistic support. You should acknowledge it. A person help you in solving some mathematical equations which you didn't know, and it was not intellectual but technical support. You will acknowledge that person, that person helped me in solving this equation, and I am thankful to them. I acknowledge their support. Somebody give you money, financially supported your project. Somebody did microscopy for you. It is technical support. In all these cases, none of these supports should be considered intellectual support, and it is the part of your acknowledgement. People usually, in the start of the thesis, they acknowledge the supervisor support. Supervisor is already your supervisor. Whether you acknowledge him or not, his or her name is on your thesis, and that should be considered enough to acknowledge him or her. There is no need to again say that I am very thankful to that and that in this way. If somebody help you intellectually in your project and that contribution is substantial. Substantial word has been used internationally in research ethics. But I myself say that let us call that substantial more than 33%, which are the passing marks in the old annual system. So if someone's contribution, intellectual contribution in your study is more than 33%, then include his or her name as a co-supervisor in your thesis. If not possible, then when you write a research publication, he or she should be among the co-authors. That part is the acknowledgement. Not intellectual contribution, but logistic, financial, and technical support must be acknowledged. This is your moral and ethical duty to acknowledge each and every supporter of your thesis. Secondly, it is totally up to the author, to you who conducted the research project. A supervisor has nothing to do with your acknowledgement because you know who supported you. So ethically, internationally, a supervisor has nothing to do with your acknowledgement section. Secondly, the research project is yours. Yes, somebody supervised you, somebody guided you, but that guide or supervisor will not have to defend your thesis. You will defend your thesis. Right? If you fail to defend your thesis, then the loss is yours. The supervisor and the teacher is like a farmer. He grows maize, he grows wheat. Some is eaten by birds, some are theft by thieves, some is crushed by winds, some is taken away by many other people, but still he carries a lot to his home. Right? So supervisor or your teacher is not worried that much about your thesis. He should be sincere with you, he should be honest with you, but if you fail, he will never bother about it. So the thesis, the project is yours. You will have to ask every question. You will have to search every book and research paper. If you have any problem, then you have to go to your supervisor. And he or she will help you. right? But the project is yours and you will be defending it, not the supervisor. So keep that in mind, that own your life, own yourself, and own your work. Never think that others will care about me. You must take this responsibility. When you reach the master level and you are mastering a subject, you must be responsible for your outcomes, your failures or your achievements, right? So always be very, very responsible.